Our first speaker, Kayla Redig, is the founder of the Vincible Movement. After experiencing the isolation and uniqueness of being a young adult cancer patient, she grew determined to change the experience for fellow patients and survivors. Kayla will share her story of being suppressed as an individual by the many doctors that evaluated her breast cancer diagnosis at the age of 24. What did that feel like?
It was really destabilizing, and honestly, it just added to the isolation that I was already feeling. You see, when you're diagnosed with cancer at 24, you no longer fit in with your normal peer group. And good luck trying to date when you're bald and you don't have breasts anymore. I mean, it just throws you for a complete loop. And then you don't fit in on the outside, and then you go on the inside, the hospital, the space where you're supposed to be welcome. And I was lumped in with everyone who was had the same diagnosis as me, and we were on the same treatment schedule, which means that I was lumped in with 50 and 60-year-old women because that's the type of cancer I had.
So you were lumped into a category.
Absolutely. And so not only did I not fit in on the outside, now I don't belong here in inside anymore, and that isolation is insidious.
So what's most understood about a young adult with cancer?
The most misunderstood thing is, when you're going through it, people's lives are just under the wave. But then when the active treatment ends, that's when everything gets so much worse. And we're so unprepared for this time called survivorship. And there's no resources, and you're just left to fend on your own. And I can tell you from personal experience that if you present these concerns, why am I struggling so much now that this is over, to your oncologist, it's possible that you'll get a response like I did that was, well, we saved your life. I don't really know what else you want from us. You need to move on. And that's the biggest misconception about cancer, is that it's so different than you break your arm, your bone heals, you get the cast off, and you get to move on with your life. This is something that will continue to impact me every day for the rest of the time. And when it starts at 24, it's a lot longer to live with than, 64.
Kayla, what is the one thing a hospital can change about their cancer centers?
I love the example of case managers for drug and alcohol addictions. So funny enough, these were implemented because insurance companies were so tired of people paying for, or having to pay for so many people relapsing, because when they got into the outside world, all those little things that you have to deal with from being a person derailed their recovery. Yet I'm supposed to just be able to figure out how to cope with them on my own. And I understand relapse looks different for a cancer patient than it does a drug addict. However, I will say that I never had any suicidal thoughts before cancer. I never had any panic issues before cancer. And I think that has to be a relapse of some kind in itself.
Kayla, what's the lesson here? I mean, what do healthcare systems need to do to prepare themselves for young adults with chronic diseases?
I think we just need to consider that this is a person coming in instead of a patient, and just looking at, whatever bullet points are on my diagnostic sheet, and just some more dimensions to who I am as a person. Spend some time with me, develop who I am. I sort of demanded to get to be myself in this setting, and therefore I felt more comfortable. And I had a positive experience at this particular hospital, and I think that just isn't the norm. And so I think the more we can really see patients as people, and then of course think about this whole perspective care.
Yeah, it's interesting. Pete told me earlier that he wanted to stop being viewed as a product, but as a student. And it sounds like exactly what you're saying. It's don't see me as a patient, see me as an individual.